This is Pop Culture Yearbook. Again, on this show, we pick pieces of pop culture that were important to us in a given year. We then discuss our memories and dig into those movies, albums, shows, and more. I'm Brad.
I am Pete.
And I'm Giff.
And who else is with us?
Hey, it's Rappe again. Good to be here.
Here we go. So, since we had such a wonderful talk about Pulp Fiction, took a little longer, and this is going to be a really good draft, we decided to make it double the fun. And so we're recording a second half of this episode right now to just focus on it. And it works out great because they're two very different subjects. So why not have them be their own thing? And then people, they can pick and choose what they like. So, Rappe, what did you pick us to draft and why?
So I wanted to do a GOAT draft, so greatest of all time. So I decided let's do the greatest of all time TV theme songs. So picking from any genre, any decade, going back to as far as you want 1950s if you found one, all the way to present day. It could be sitcoms, it could be dramas, it could be the news, I guess, if you found a good one from that. But so I'm looking for the GOAT theme songs. And I'm also very curious to see how many, as we draft, if we have similar ones or if we're all kind of in our own little spaces.
Sure.
All right.
I think I maybe a little precursor. I think possibly the top pick. It could be very appropriate timing for one of the choices. So I'm going to just say that.
And this is a great choice for us because we just spent months looking at TV theme songs, doing the big collaboration over and over with children of the 80s, who hopefully will listen to this now. Not going to be nearly in detail of theirs, but it's still going to be fun. Just curious if you happen to listen to any of those, Rappe.
I haven't yet, but I listen to those guys when I can.
All right, so you don't have anything spoiling anything either, though, as far as like what was said about them and which one won and how far they all went. So
no,
that's actually good.
No. So I actually probably right after this, I will be putting that on my podcast catcher, and it'll be the next in the queue.
You'll probably want to, considering after talking about all of them, you'll want to, go back and hear more. Yeah. All right. Well, the order of this draft is, since he's our guest and it's his plan, Rappe goes first. I'm second, Gift's third, and Pete's fourth. And we're not snaking it either. Nice. We're just doing a straight up draft. That way, Rappe picks first each round.
Okay.
So
thank you.
You may lead us off with what you think is the best song. Obviously, it's the first pick. So what's the best?
So I think the absolute best is the Twilight Zone.
Okay.
Oh, it's just such a quickly identifiable theme with also then, the kind of the story about what the Twilight Zone could be, leading into some of the most moral and questionable tales from a bygone era almost.
Okay.
Excellent.
And speaking of, you're wondering about overlap. I mean, that's not one I had on my radar. So you took it number one overall, and I did not have that one.
Which one do you have?
Well, with my first overall pick, I'm going to harken back to about 2 minutes ago when Pete was talking about timing. So the day we are recording this is the day after George Wendt died, which was also, amazingly, the same day that the last Cheers episode aired in 1993. And I made my opinion clear on this. If you listen to the other show with Children of the 80s, Cheers is the best show theme song. It's one of the best shows ever, but it's the best theme song of all time to me. It gives you every bit of nostalgia. It just puts you in a good mood. It makes you you're going to see something funny and great. And the more I hear it, I never get sick of it. It's just like, if I rewatch that show, which I did 5 years ago, and I'm considering doing it again with all the news it's had lately. It's one that I wouldn't probably skip through that often. But, a lot of times you'll skip through the theme song, but I don't know that I would. I love it.
It's a fantastic theme song.
Yeah.
What do you have, Giff?
Well, it might be a little boring if you listen to the Children of the 80s, but I'm going to take the song that lost to Cheers in the final. I'm going Jeffersons.
The Jeffersons. You're moving on up.
I'm moving on up.
And that's a great choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
Well,
That's
I'm gonna
one
go- oh,
that I, obviously remember the song,
Mhm.
but haven't watched the show for a long time, so kind of forgot how great it is until I listened to it again. I mean, and it's just awesome.
Yep.
And so wonderful choice.
Well, I'm very happy to get mine at 4 because you know how much I raved about this one. I don't know if I would have picked this or even thought about it if we hadn't done the episodes that we did with the Totally 80s podcast.
Can I guess?
But this, yeah, you may guess.
Magnum?
That's right. It's Magnum PI.
I knew that. Yes.
That was the third one I wrote down.
And that's another, I'm like Pete, because I didn't watch the show really as a kid, and I was aware of the song, but until I listened to it again, I had no idea what a banger it is. And it's just awesome.
So fucking good. All right. This is where I'm upset we're not doing a snake draft. I'm assuming Pete is as well. But Rappe, what do you got for your second pick?
My next one is the theme from Sanford and Son.
Aha, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Just such a funky beat that just draws you right in.
Is that Gifford or
Right.
Pete doing that?
That was me. Sorry.
Okay, I thought so. Well done. It was good. It was
Thank
really good. It is funky and it is good and it's fitting for the show. I love that choice. I am going to go now. I've got this is
So
tough.
many
I
good
got 2 here that I really want to pick,
Mhm.
but if I'm going to stay true to myself, I'm going to pick my number 2 overall, which is a song that we described as big and huge and soaring, and it had one of the greatest openings to a TV. And I am picking Dallas, which,
Nice.
unlike Magnum, which I kind of knew of it as a kid. I didn't watch Dallas, but it was on every Friday. My parents watched it. This song was seared into my memory, and I loved it even then. It's like, wow, that sounds like a good show, but I was too young to really care.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Cheers
Well,
to Dallas, my 1 and 2 right there. I love it.
Yep, you're doing pretty well. Well, I'm just gonna go an hour ahead from Brad.
Yeah,
And-
that was my other one right there.
Yep.
guys.
Yep. I'm going Dukes of Hazzard. I'm just a good old boy. No, I'm never meaning no harm. And I'm gonna take the Dukes of Hazzard.
Just a modern day Robin Hood.
That's me.
All right. Well, I'm going the sitcom route.
Okay.
Obviously, I raved about this one a lot, and I'm going with Night Court.
Nice.
Yes, another very funky song that we found. It's got a lot of support out there. Like people love that song.
So
That is an incredible song. Yeah.
I started watching Night Court
Did you?
very recently. And
Had you ever? Well, you had watched it at least because we did an episode on
I
it.
watched one episode.
One episode.
That show is all heart. It's a really a sweet show.
Really?
I guess-
the lessons that you learn, like they're always trying to, Harry's always trying to be kind, and it's just a really, I mean, at least the first, I don't know, 7-8 episodes of season 1 are.
It's hard.
There
to tell
are,
if you're
and
serious
Harry
right now.
for sure.
No, it's
and
very
Harry for
sweet.
sure, but that's
thought
not
you
the
were
first
serious.
thing that I think of.
No, me
Uh,
neither.
well-
But I can see it because it is. It's got a good. I mean, you got Dan Fielding, who's
Right, he's a douche, but he's
but
funny.
but yeah, you're right. I mean, and they are like a family. It's kind of like Cheers, where it's not a family show, but a family, but they're like a family in their job, in their workplace.
Yeah.
Describing it like that
Cast
makes
of
me
underdogs.
yes.
And maybe
Misfits.
later on, if they kind of really got their groove, maybe it's not so much. But I know the first, if you can look past the occasional prostitute that's in, but I mean, even still there, it's, I don't know. There was one where we had Santa Claus, a guy who thought he was Santa Claus. You got a woman who claimed to be Harry's mom, and I mean, there's just, I don't know.
No,
I
You
can
will
see it
find
kinda
though that Dan, you said Dan is a douche, but you'll
Well,
find
he's-
there's episodes where he is all heart too, that he's more of a softie than what he normally lets on,
Sure.
and that makes for more of a touching episode in a few of them.
You just caught me off guard because I haven't watched it in a long time, and you think of Night Court as this zany, show. But now that
Yep.
I mean, when I look back, I believe you.
Yeah.
I remember
It's
parts
still-
like that.
It's still zany, but it's kind of like Scrubs too. Like Scrubs was zany. I mean, God in
Great.
heaven. I mean, you've got fantasy
Great comparison.
sequences and all this crap, but at the core of it, it was, there's a lot of heart to that show.
Great comparison.
So, yeah. All right, Rappe, what do you got for number 3?
So I have decided I had to go with the synthesizer heavy song, the Airwolf theme song.
Ooh.
10-year-old Brian would have loved this show. All right, when I heard that theme song, I knew it was time to get in front of the TV.
That's a great one.
And I know that one of the Bryans here likes that show a lot too. That would be good.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me look at my list here. Well, no. Okay, I'm going to take one. Oh, see, there's so many ways to go. This is really hard. Like, this is hard. When you're shooting one against another, it's like, okay, you compare them, you pick one. But when you're trying to pick off a big list, it's a totally different deal.
Yep.
You brought this show up just a second ago, and I'm wondering if I'm going to snipe it from you, Giff. It's one of the, it's a modern day theme song, which are very short, but I loved it. And I'm going to pick Scrubs.
Yeah.
Because it's just like one line of a song, but it's so catchy and it's so great. And it leads you right into the show. And I really, really always loved that opening.
Yeah. Well, and they've got some instrumental before it.
Yeah, there's a little.
Yeah. I did not put it on my list. I thought about it.
I was wondering because you brought up the other day how you had something that you didn't want to, like when I mentioned I had to go outside of our original choices, like, and I thought maybe this is the one you were referring to, but I guess not.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, I wrote down quite a few that are beyond, but I just writing down my choices. So many of them are from, those 80s shows.
Well, and that's when theme songs were a big deal.
Yep. And I'm going to stick with that era, and I'm going to ask you to show me that smile again. I'm going with Growing Pains. I love that theme song.
Yeah, that is a great one. I have that very high up on my list. With great singers. Like you've got real like decorated, well-known singers and Jennifer Warnes and Bill, what's his name?
Medley?
I forget. Bill Medley? Is that it?
I think it is.
We might have totally screwed that up, but that sounds right.
We might have. We might be getting letters, and then we'll have to have like 4 episodes.
Like a Jane Eyre and a Jane Austen type thing.
That's right. Yep.
All right. Pete? I'm going to take one that described very well the plot of the show. Very popular song, fun to hear every time you hear it. I'm going with Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, nice.
That's a good one.
It does tell you the whole show, doesn't it?
Pretty much.
Just like what a good theme song should do.
That's exactly right.
And this is pre-slap Will Smith in this.
Yes, pre-slap Will Smith.
Way pre-slap.
Yep.
So,
although if he was gonna slap anybody, it would have been those rough guys in Philly. That's what he should have started slapping.
He couldn't. He was being spun around on the guy's back. It's hard to slap somebody that.
Yeah. Sorry, Rappe, go ahead.
Oh, that's right. I was going through different HBO shows and trying to figure out which one to pick, and I'm going to go with The Sopranos.
God dang it! I thought I could leave it. Oh, that was going to be my next one.
Since I never have watched that show, I don't even know how it goes. So that's between you two there.
I would never skip that song. It is so funky and cool.
It's so gritty and so
and
just
good.
all the New Jersey landmarks and it's it's one of my favorites.
Yeah, good pick.
All right, well, I am going to go on brand with my choice, and I'm going to take a note out of Pete's notebook here with a song that tells you the whole show. And it's one of the most well-known, instantly recognizable theme songs in the history of TV. And I'm going to go with The Story of a Man Named Brady.
I knew you were going
the Brady Bunch.
Knew it. Yep. Great.
I mean, come on. Everybody knows.
Come on.
It's probably more I like Cheers better. It's probably more well-known than Cheers. It's everybody knows it.
Yep.
Yeah, you might be right.
All right. Well, I can't take Sopranos. Thanks, Rappe. Well, I'm gonna go with a little known show called Friends. I'm
heard of
gonna
it.
go with the I'll Be There For You. And again, what I love about this is when you're watching it and they got the little actions of the characters from previous episodes that work into, the song at the perfect time. And when you hear that song, you think of that show. I mean, you can't get away from it.
All right. My pick number 4 is going to be Family Ties.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
see this, and that's such a high one, but look at how far it took to get to it. I mean, that's just a great choice and a number 4 pick, 16th pick.
Mm-hmm.
Well done, Pete.
Yep.
Thank you.
All right, Rappe, what do you got for your last pick?
Wow, I got
my last
three.
one.
I got 3 that I didn't think I was going to get any of these, so I got to go with the Munsters theme song.
The Munsters.
Very
Okay,
kind of
I gotta
surf funky sound to it.
I can think of the Addams Family,
Yep.
but I can't think
Yep,
of the Munsters theme song.
Maybe I can
Should I know it?
bring it up real quick.
I mean, I'm
You'll
sure I've heard it.
recognize
I used
it.
to
Probably
watch the
recognize it.
Munsters. I used to watch the Munsters as a kid. It was on in the daytime.
If I play it on my phone, is that
You
I
can
don't know
try it.
loud or
You can give it a try. It
okay.
might come
Or sing
through.
it.
Sometimes
Sing
it
it for
blocks
us.
it.
This is your episode. You can do whatever the hell you want to do.
Yep.
No one's listening anyway.
Oh,
It's not coming through. Let's all listen to it later.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought I had it for a
Alright.
second. All right, for my 5th pick, God, I can see 2 huge ones here. And then there's one I'd love to pick. I am going to pick. I want to go back to that time when theme songs were big still. So it's got to be like 70s or 80s. I'm going to pick the Golden Girls.
Dang it. I was hoping you're going to pick one that I wanted because I got 3 left. And
I was
That was
between
not-
2 there. I'm actually between like 5, but
right.
I feel like the Golden Girls is probably the most, people are gonna see that and think, yeah, that's a good one.
God dang it.
And you can't go wrong with that.
I got 3 here that 2 that I really, really want.
Well, you can get one of them.
I think I'm going to take the Muppet Show.
Oh, the Muppet Show.
That was
I,
I was going to look at that one too.
so good. All right,
All right.
Pete.
Mine is a sleeper pick that I know that none of you have on your lists.
Oh, really?
but it's
You bet
a-
$1,000 on that, Pete?
I would
Mhm.
bet $1,000. I will bet $1,000. None of you have it on your list.
Okay.
Who's taking me on?
No.
I kind of want
But it's a show that I watched for a while. It was a Showtime show, I think it was. But it was
I might have
it's
it.
a really good show, and this song really, really pulls you in, and it's really haunting. Yeah, Gifford, what do you think it is? And if you're wrong, you owe me $1,000.
I think it's Red Right Hand by the Peaky Blinders.
You owe me $1,000. You're wrong.
Dang it.
I never even heard of that one.
No, but that's
that's a
funny
great
because
song,
I
yes.
remember Mr. Rappe here telling us about that show on one of his previous appearances on our show.
Well, and that song, not to cut Pete off here, but that song was also in Dumb and Dumber when he's walking down the street with the beer and all the big hat and everything like that. But
Oh,
It was also in X-Files too.
yeah. Anyway, sorry,
Nice.
Pete. Go ahead.
My song is performed by Fiona Apple. If you ever watch the show The Affair, Container is the name of the song, and it's the theme song for The Affair, and it's just such a haunting. It just draws you in. It's so good.
Okay.
my wife watched at least a season of that show. I know it's been on our TV before, but I don't know the song.
It's,
I'd have
it's
to
a
go.
really good show, and the song is just it's haunting. That's all I have to say about it.
That sounds like Fiona Apple. She can do that.
Well, she
Yeah.
did.
All right. Well,
Pay up,
let's let-
everyone. All 3 of you owe me $1,000.
No,
each,
nobody
so-
took your bet.
Damn. I tried.
Let's let Rappe tell us all of his extras here before we get into ours.
Yeah.
So my the ones I was debating on for my third one was WKRP in Cincinnati or Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt
Okay.
off of Netflix.
I watched that show.
I watched that show.
She's
I don't
alive,
remember that
damn it.
song though.
It's worth a rewatch because it's the basically a rap version of the person they interview as they're rescuing the girls from the pit, and it's just she's alive, damn it.
I think I remember it now. Yeah.
And then I had a long list. I had Kids in the Hall, Rescue Me, Chips, Emergency 51, Chips. I Dream of a Genie, Andy Griffith, MASH, X-Files, Dragnet, Greatest American Hero, The Wire. So I had a lot more. So
The Wire, by the way, stars the same guy as The Affair, the same lead actor.
Really?
I can't think of his name.
All right.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I picked second, so I'll go next here.
Yep.
So there's another one just like Scrubs that I love. It's just this short little jingle, basically, but it's one of my top 4 all-time favorite shows. How I Met Your Mother could have gone on mine too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not really. I mean, it is from a song, of course, but you only hear 5-6 seconds. But I love it, and it's just so great. The opening.
Mm-hmm.
Curb Your Enthusiasm is a wonderful instrumental, much better than Seinfeld, which, you know, I love Seinfeld, but I'll take the Curb Your Enthusiasm theme song every day. Plus, you hear that song and it can just narrate crazy shit happening in your life anytime. It's great.
It's like at the very end of like every episode when something really shitty happens, and then they come in with that. It's just hilarious.
A show that we talked about a few years ago, early in our run, was Freaks and Geeks with Bad Reputation by Joan Jett. Love that song. Love the opening. It's perfect for the show. The other one I almost picked over the Golden Girls was The Love Boat. I love The Love Boat.
I thought that's what you were going to pick, because then that would take one of my highlighted ones.
It was very close. The theme song for the TV show that we love here, a couple of us, is for Ed, is Next Year by the Foo Fighters, which is just a wonderful Foo Fighters song and a great theme song. Greatest American Hero, good choice there. Three's Company didn't come up yet.
Yep.
That's a great one.
Yep.
I got 4 more. Head of the Class, we rediscovered through our work with the other show how wonderful that song is. It's a banger. Mr. Belvedere's totally cool, unique theme song. Saved by the Bell, of course, is iconic, even if it kind of sucks. It's great. And then the one song that I would have loved to have picked, but I just didn't have room. But you picked Twilight Zone, Rappe. Unsolved Mysteries, man. That show.
Oh yeah. Oh,
for kids of my age, you're a couple years older. You know, I didn't see the Twilight Zone much, but Unsolved Mysteries, that was creepy as shit, and it's awesome. There's such a great theme song for that show, and you heard it and you knew what you were getting into right there.
Yep.
So I had a bunch more that I took off, but I ended with those right there.
Yeah.
GIF.
Well, you talked about Brady Bunch telling the story of the show and doing a great job of it. Well, if you will, just sit right back and hear this tale. Gilligan's Island is one of the all-timers. I got SNL. Like, nobody can hum SNL, but when you hear that theme, you know that's
G.E.
coming
Smith.
up. Monday Night Football.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a great theme. Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Love that one. Won't You Be My Neighbor?
That's a good one.
Game of Thrones. I always love that one. I was
between Sopranos and Game of Thrones. Those are my HBO ones.
I wish you would have picked Game of Thrones. I love Game of Thrones, but man, I would have loved to have Sopranos on my list. The one song in the Children of the 80s that I was butthurt didn't move on, that was Hill Street Blues. Great instrumental. A couple more here. I got the Wonder Years, Happy Days, and then the A-Team.
And you brought up Monday Night Football. Another great in that realm would be like the NBA and NBC back in the 90s. Yeah. John Tesh, man, just going to town. That's awesome.
That is a great one. I should have wrote that one down. That's awesome.
Pete, anything left?
Just a couple that are left that I'm kind of surprised didn't get mentioned. The first one, not as surprised. I'm going with Knight Rider. The next one, along with all the sitcoms like Three's Company and everything, that actually is one of the greatest theme songs of all time, probably, or most well known. I didn't hear Facts of Life.
No, that's a good one.
No,
Named.
no,
Very
you're right.
catchy.
And I think that's all. Everything else I had on my list has already been mentioned.
I don't think anybody said the A Team either, did they?
No, I said the team was the last one I had.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I had it on my list.
Yep,
That's a good one.
that is.
I had Airwolf, A Team, and Knight Rider. As I couldn't figure out which of those I wanted to pick, so went with Airwolf. So
Airwolf, solid pick.
Well, this was a lot of fun, Rappe. You made some great choices as usual. Any last things you want to add? Anything you want to plug? You got to ask our guests if they want to plug anything. Anything you want to say?
I wish I had a website, or it's about to become the summer of Rappe. So,
you could make one. You could make one.
Yeah.
What are your summer plans?
So I bought a pickup truck last summer, and I now bought a bed tent for my pickup truck. So I'm planning on doing a lot of camping and just going different places and just checking out state parks around here. End of July, I'm going to Vegas for a week.
Nice.
Just gamble, people watch, and probably drink.
Who's the big
good chance of that?
Rappy.
I'm the big winner.
You bring something nice to wear when you go on that trip.
There's gonna be a lot of beautiful babies there, so
That's right.
looking forward to it.
All right. Well, that was wonderful. Thank you for being with us again, and you will be back. I'm sure you will.
Oh, absolutely. No, I'm always excited for the invitation. Everything you guys do is great. Like I said, I did this to get you another listener. So, Scott, if you're listening, I did what you asked. So you better follow through.
That's right.
Well, Scott's not listening to this one. He was just going to listen to Pulp Fiction.
No, he better be listening to this one because he
technically they go together. And I will say that I completely forgot what I was just going to say. So
that is a great lead.
That was very interesting.
I know, and it happens to me 10 times a day. God, it's the worst. I just can't do it anymore.
How about this? How about what, Brad, do you have coming up next week for us?
Okay, well, I remember what I was going to say. So we counted. This is the 7th time Rappy's been on with us, and technically it's more like 9 because when he comes on, it goes long, and we've actually turned 2 of them into 2-parters now. So there's a lot of content. If you enjoyed this week with Brian Rappe, go back and find another one if you didn't hear it the first time.
Yeah, he's got a lot of good stuff.
But next week, thank you for asking, Gif. We are going to have another guest. We're going to have a fellow podcast from Minnesota on called The 70s versus the 80s. And I have a lot of fun listening to them. We have a lot in common, most notably where we live. But, growing up here, they tell great stories. They're a little older than us, so they have a lot more like 70s kind of knowledge. But we all have a lot of stuff in common. And we are going to be discussing Minnesota music. And specifically the Gear Daddies, and we're going to play a game involving the Gear Daddies. And if you don't know who the Gear Daddies are, you, again, as I said last week, you will learn about them, and you will probably want to go listen to them.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have another guest on, and we're going to play a game, and those are 2 things that are always great.
Yep.
Yes. Hey, Gifford.
Hey,
what
Pete.
band could play haunting music like Fiona Apple if they really wanted to? I didn't have a good one this week.
I don't know. I know it's
a short episode
you're fishing for, but I'll give it to you. It's Preachero.
That was your weakest effort in a while.
I admit it. I know, but it was a short episode. So I didn't have a lot to draw off of, and it was just a draft episode. I didn't have a lot to draw off of, but
I would have went
with it. So
what's the house band on the Love Boat? That could have been.
Oh.
Yeah.
You want to try that again, Pete?
Hey, Gifford?
Hey, what?
What's the house band on the Love Boat?
That is Preachero.
All right.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks for
next
listening.
Week.
Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Bye.
Take it easy. Thank you.
alone till 3. No one's here to comfort me. Sorry for what I have done. Sorry that your song is gone. 7 steps and it will be my last. Next time.